Penelope. This guy's a Family Guy freaking legend. I think we'll be writing this friggin' thing. Was the
The people
episode
lay these stones as a
freaking with
pathway to the heavens. Come, Ooooowwweeeee, and assume the world's throne.
Excuse me, do you have tea that doesn't taste like this? It's gross. It would taste worse next time when the show was created by a guy who was doing work. Oh, that's the thing. Like they were reading the party on it 2 years ago. I'm not firmly that if somebody's going back to see ways approach was character with anywhere near as much about mostly because of certain characters so reliant on just dropping pop culture. I hope you give those a down ticket. You deserve it. It reminds me of the therapist office Bethany Frankel goes to of the Real Housewives of New York City. I don't mean to name drop, but I kind of know Andy Cohen. He originally wanted me for the Rachel and Zoe project, but I said no, so they went with Brad. I couldn't need on fashion movies with Melissa Rivers 14 times a year. Oh, I did hear Ryan Reynolds visited him. Something to do with Deadpool, I guess. So it's not all horrible. Not be much a Dunkin' Donuts hobby. You might as well tattoo can't afford Starbucks on your foot. I'm just gonna stop there because that was only 2.5 minutes into the goddamn episode. And it's not like that was never a part of his character or all the pop culture references. But at this point, it's all there's left to it. Gay jokes and referencing celebrities. Like that is Stewie not. Just, well, he's the prince. Ironically, the character was so unique that he spawned an army of imitators, has devolved to the point of being just as uninteresting as said imitators. Don't get me wrong, I don't think Stewie is a bad character at all. Far from it. In fact, I think he's the best out of all the characters in the current seasons. But it's hard not to find his character so directionless. I mean, hey, at least they've attempted to do new things with him every now and then. They introduced a new rival for the first time and he just both died. But he offered so little and played off Stewie so poorly that then wind up just killing him off screen after a few appearances because fans hated him so viscerally. So that's the story I would do this week, but whatever. And Doug died in a commuter plane crash this morning. I have nothing else to say about him. I'm glad he's dead. Other than that, they've made a slight return to highlighting the fact that Stewie is a baby and building episodes around that. Their big 300 special is all about his first word. They did one where he gets jealous of Chris for having Rupert for him. We see a lot more of his school life, the episode where he gives himself the personality of an actual baby. But I think what all this is missing is that balance they once struck so well. That Stewie could be an EMP while also doing these crazy sci-fi stories that give him actual adventures to go on. Because nowadays it always feels like it's either one or the other. It's either he's a BB going through your typical baby plot with no spin whatsoever, or the fact that he's one gets pretty much forgotten altogether and he's treated like a mini adult by all the characters around him. It's either one or the other. Some of my favorite Stewie episodes from recent times combine these traits to do a story that can only work with a character like Stewie. Such as Dog Fights Bear, where Brian kills Rupert and has to take Stewie at the line to spread his ashes, which shows that balance is still something these writers are This is not that reason. I also think Go to the North Pole is just excellent to me. Playing off the plot of him still believing Santa's real, and turning out Santa actually is real, with Stewie's whole goal being the murderer. A Christmas special like that feels way more Family Guy than, well, like I said, he makes a be in attempt to be nice, Meg dies, sad about it, so then Meg's rub back. At the end of the day, though, I ultimately think the biggest issue plaguing Stewie now is that sense of directionlessness. Yeah, he's still a fun character. He's just unfortunately rarely given anything interesting to do. Either way, I still like his Stewie. I just want to see you return to form, embrace what made you unique. Because otherwise, you're just going to continue becoming like every other smarmy, talking baby archetype you once inspired. I suppose with that, there's only one major Family Guy character left. And I've certainly saved the best till last. So join me, probably a few months from now, as we look at Family Guy's greatest hits after assassination. Leave it for on.
One in 3 kids in America are a mentor, and the only qualification we will
There
have
is another world.
already left. Sign up to be a mentor at Bootstrap.com/satisfaction.
My debut stand-up special, Keep Busy, premieres tonight on my website at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I don't care what you're doing tonight, grab a group of your friends and watch the special together. It's going to be so great. I'll be there too during the premiere. I'll be in the chat talking to everybody and watching along with you because it's really fun. But if you're busy tonight, that's okay. You can still buy and stream the special until November 24th. For those of you who don't know, I've been actually doing stand-up comedy for longer than I've been making YouTube videos. I'm really proud of the special. I'm incredibly happy with how it turned out. We worked really hard on it, and it was really expensive, so it would mean a lot if you guys checked it out. There's also some really cool exclusive merch pieces like a signed poster and a super cool graphic tee, all designed by Kelvin, that you can only get your hands on if you buy the special. So click the link in the description, and I'll see you guys tonight, November 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you watch the special or not, thank you so much for the support, and enjoy those videos. See ya. Solid, I swear, loaded with the sauce. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was released June 26, 1997. A book about an orphaned wizard boy destined for greatness, navigating his first year at the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Due to the immediate success of this book, author J.K. Rowling began writing more and more installations into the Harry Potter series, ultimately writing 7 novels. Along the way, immensely successful movie adaptations were created that absolutely catapulted the popularity of the Harry Potter franchise to levels never seen. They made Harry Potter games. First 3 were fucking awesome. The rest were literal dog shit. They made Harry Potter clothing, toys, and cake mix. They even made Harry Potter cologne that I wish they handed out for free at the midnight book releases. Ew. But not really. I saw the first Harry Potter film in theaters when I was 7 years old, and I immediately fell in love with it. I remember it was November when it came out, and it hadn't snowed yet that year, and it wasn't supposed to snow for like another week. But when me and my family walked out of the movie theater, it was fucking snowing. And I freaked out because I thought it was magic. But looking back now, it was just a classic case of weathermen being wrong all the time. I then started reading the books after I saw the first movie, but then I realized video games and skateboarding existed. So I just did that instead while I waited for the rest of the movies to come out. And let me tell you, dude, I was a huge Harry Potter fan growing up. I played all the video games. Dude, I got sorted into my Hogwarts house on the original Harry Potter Flash website. I also did Hogwarts roleplay on Habbo Hotel, but I'm not going to divulge any further details about that. I kept up with the Harry Potter franchise up until the last movie's 2011 release, and it felt cool watching the finale to the series that I grew up watching. Seeing the characters I grew up with also dealing with the same issues I was dealing with while becoming a young adult. I mean, not all same issues, obviously. I mean, like, people Snake Man trying to kill happens every teenager. When the credits rolled on the final movie, it felt like a good time for me to leave Harry Potter in the past. But for other people, the love for Harry Potter persisted. The Hogwarts Express kept on chugging. Although the book series and main movie franchise came to an end, Harry Potter fans, also known as Potterheads, had no shortage in ways to keep the fandom alive. And look, there's nothing wrong with being a fan of a particular piece of media, but as I mentioned in my deep dive into Disney adults video that I made a couple of years ago, some people take things a little too far, and that's what we're going to talk about today on this deep dive into Potterhead. So with this video, I categorized everything by making my very own Potterhead iceberg. Icebergs are a way to categorize the tame surface level stuff and gradually work your way deeper down the iceberg until you reach the super messed up stuff. And not to sound like the Titanic here, but before we get into the iceberg, I feel like I do need to address the transphobic elephant in the room, J.K. Rowling. I feel like I can't talk about Harry Potter without mentioning the many controversies surrounding the series author, J.K. Rowling. One of the tame criticisms of J.K. Rowling is how she, like, retroactively adds shit to the Harry Potter series. Like a couple of years ago when she was like, oh yeah, Dumbledore is gay, by the way. Did I not say that? Did I not tell you guys that? Yeah, the last lines in the final book were actually supposed to be, the scar had not pained Harry for 19 years. All was well. Dumbledore was gay. But I ran out of time.
the publishing business, but that's definitely not her biggest criticism. J.K. Rowling is what many refer to as a TERF, and I don't mean a big batch of rats. TERF, TERF, trans exclusionary radical person who poses social and political politics of transgender people. Someone who's like, I'm up for equality, yeah, accept. Rowling has posted many transphobic things on Twitter. For example, 5 reasons for being worried about the new trans activism. And also claiming that the existence of trans people erases the lived reality of women globally. She even recently claimed that she would, quote unquote, happily go to jail for using someone's incorrect pronouns. Okay? Then go to jail.
Mr. Electric send her to Azkaban and have her bewitched immediately.
Also, dude, what the fuck does that mean? What do you mean, J.K. Rowling? What? When would that ever happen? What are you in? DUI. Classic. Driving under the influence. Nah, someone told me their pronouns and I DUI. Didn't understand it. Okay, fine, I grabbed the cop's gun. And all those transphobic comments are pretty crazy things to say, especially when the main themes in your 7 children novels were love, acceptance, and belonging. I like to believe, since JK's full name is just kidding, I assume, that these are all just fucked up jokes, but unfortunately, they're not. She's being serious. Following these statements, a ton of cast members the Harry Potter films spoke out against her hateful rhetoric and distanced themselves from the franchise. And since then, the topic of separating the art from the artist is always prevalent, and anybody is discussing anything related to Harry Potter. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, what content you should or shouldn't consume. Unless it's my comedy special that premiered tonight, you absolutely should consume that. But when it comes to consuming Harry Potter content that directly supports J.K. Rowling monetarily, I don't know, maybe just don't do that. Life's fine without Harry Potter, That's just the fucking saying. If you really want to watch children go to school that bad, no, dude, that's a whole other problem you're going to deal with. Like, being a die-hard Potterhead, transphobia was already, like, a side-eye. But now, dude, that's not a fucking side-eye. That is what's more than, like, a back-eye. Fully all the way around. This is me back-eyeing you. Even though it makes you back. Okay, sorry, I just feel like I couldn't really make a Harry Potter video without talking about that all stuff. Iceberg time. So this iceberg is 5 levels deep, and the Potterhead mania gets crazier the deeper we go. So the first level is casual Potterhead, watches the movies once a year, knows their Hogwarts house and their Patronus, possibly read the books. And I feel like this is the majority of the Potterhead fandom, people who know everything about Harry Potter and how they would fit into the Harry Potter universe, but they don't really make it a part of their personality that much. I'd probably say this is the level I operated in when I was a kid. Dude, I remember getting sorted when I was a kid and having like a literal existential crisis because I wanted to get sorted into Raven. Thinking back, I think I fucking cried. So embarrassing. For those of you who don't know, there are 4 houses in Hogwarts where the students are sorted into. And each house is associated with certain traits. But to boil it down as simple as I can, Gryffindor is good guys, Slytherin's bad guys, Ravenclaw is smart people, Hufflepuff, it's everybody else. And it's fucked because, like, Gryffindor and Slytherin are opposite, right? Good guys, bad guys. So therefore, the other houses should be opposites of each other as well. If Ravenclaw is smart, Hufflepuff is... I guess that would mean they're... I don't know what the opposite of smart is. I'm a Hufflepuff. We're fucking stupid. I cried when I got sorted online, alone, in my computer room. If I had to do that in front of, like, thousands of kids, if I was an 11-year-old magic boy and I sat down and some fucking person put on a magic hat, he was like,
It is
I fucking transfer to a public school immediately. And usually the people in the first category also know what their Patronus is. And a Patronus is like a sort of spectral animal that protects that person when they cast the spell Expecto Patronum. You expect my Patronum until I heard. And that was one thing I never liked in the movies. I'm realizing now the first part of this iceberg is just me making fun of the movies, but let me get it out of my system. I never liked the Patronus concept because, like, some kids' fucking Patronus was like a grizzly bear, and then another kid would be like a rat. You're telling me both of those are going to do the same amount of protecting? Fuck no, that's impossible. You can't change your Patronus. Like, what if you just got like a super shitty one that doesn't help you at all? Oh my god, it's a Dementor! It's okay, I know the perfect spell.
fuck is that?
That's my Patronus. He's an early 2000s breakdance.
Oh, Patronus was supposed to be an animal.
I'm an animal on the dance floor, brother.
I'm gonna kill you now.
Patronus, are you gonna do anything? Okay, let's...
Ships.
One without cinnamon toast crunch.
You know they'll pass on that.
What, Patronus?
Buy $30 at General Mills, earn a $10 gift card to the job.
With hotels and vacation rentals, Booking.com has something for everyone. That is time. Yeah. We.
Want something more.
Maybe a resort with a water park. Yep, one Vegas hotel for the tragedy. Everything we have for cancellation. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.com.
Cadillac Toyota is excited to offer you a faster and more convenient way to make your purchase with Dash.
With Dash, you can select the vehicle of your choice, value your trade, choose your payment options, and calculate your payments all from the comfort of your own home. You can schedule a VIP appointment to take delivery of your new car or arrange to have it delivered directly to your house at the trade-in fee. More convenient way that puts you in control of your purchase experience.
Down one more level of the iceberg. The next level is genuine Potterhead. Watch the movies several times a year and they've read every book. They straight up bring butterbeer to a pre-drink and have their own wine. They have at least one Harry Potter tattoo, join their college's Quidditch team. This is where it starts to get a little more hourly. Once you get a Harry Potter tattoo, there's no going back. And that's coming from someone with a fucking Doobie tattoo.
I just remember the actor who does the voice for Doobie was Robbie Coltrane, rest in peace. He also played Hagrid in the Harry Potter movies, so I kind of inadvertently have a Harry Potter tattoo.
The Deathly Hollow tattoos are a staple, obviously. That design kind of lends itself to a tattoo, and I feel like J.K. Rowling knew that when she was cooking up at the time. I'm going to create a design that is so simple. But some Harry Potter tattoos are a little more questionable, like this Harry Potter full leg piece. I'm going to go out on a limb, say that you shouldn't go out on a limb. I also found a Harry Potter forehead tattoo of the number 7 with Harry Potter's face in the number. Absolutely fucking unhinged tattoo again. It's called a forehead, not a 7 head. Yeah, I assume she got the number 7 because that's how many books there are, but like, dude, could you imagine if J.K. Rowling eyes drop in 8 books? First would be fucked. But I think the most questionable Harry Potter tattoo to get is the Dark Ark tattoo. For those of you who don't know, there's a group of evil wizards who follow Voldemort, and they're called Death Eaters. Their goal is to create a wizarding, pure blood ethno-state and kill anybody who isn't pure blood. These Death Eaters all have a dark mark burned into their forearm to show their allegiance to this genocide. And people in real life get this dark mark tattooed. What the fuck? And look, you can say it's just fiction all you want, but the message is still the same. It's a genocide. It represents a genocide. If someone has a fucking swastika tattoo, they're not going to be like, oh, I just like the movie Inglourious Basterds. Obviously, I'm not saying anybody with a dark mark tattoo is a Nazi, but like, out of all of the things from Harry Potter to get tattooed, that's the thing you got, and I'm giving you another back off. But the last line of this level that I want to talk about is the college Quidditch team, because I had no idea that this was a real thing. In the Harry Potter series, there's a popular sport called Quidditch, where everybody flies around on sticks, and the chasers try to throw the quaffle the hoops, and the keeper tries to block the quaffle going in the hoops, and the whole time there's these feeders that try to bat away the bludgers that are flying around trying to hit everybody. There's also these two seekers who try to fly around and catch a little ball, a little magic ball called the gold snake. Because if they catch it, they win the game. If they said what I just said, hey Harry Potter, they'd be put in a fucking straitjacket. Believe it or not, Quidditch doesn't just exist in the wizarding world. It's also here now in the muggle world. The only difference is they just run the brooms between their legs instead of flying. And unlike the movie, they don't draw a crowd. Yeah, sorry, that was mean. The funniest thing about real life Quidditch is how they break the golden snitch. I was really curious how they were going to do this because the golden snitch is a magic little flying ball that sort of zips around. So I had no idea how they were going to add that to the real life game. This is how they do it.
Seeker's job is to catch the snitch. And the Seekers have to get the tennis ball without actually touching the snitch line.
The Seekers have to go look for me out on campus.
Dude, some poor bastard dresses up in all gold, and the Seekers have to just hunt him down and find him somewhere on the campus and grab a tennis ball out of a weird sock that's hanging from his groin. That's how they win the game. What the fuck? That might be the funniest thing I've ever seen. Just two dudes holding a broomstick between their legs running around a college campus like, is that so much snitch? Yeah, I'm a snitch. Like, how can be the thing that you want it to be, right? Or maybe it is. I don't know. Like, I wonder who like the best snitch ever was. You know, that is a sports docu-series that I would watch front to back.
Welcome back to Snitch, Golden Story, where we learn about the trials and tribulations of Tyler, the best snitch the world of real-life Quidditch has ever seen. Tyler was the best snitch I've ever seen.
Nobody could ever find him. I've been a seeker on my college's Quidditch team for 10 years.
You've been in college for 10 years?
Yeah, in the 4 years that Tyler played,
It's never found.
nobody could ever find him on campus. Not once. It's crazy, but sometimes I think he actually might be. Every sport has their greats. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Mike Tyson. I think another name is Tyler.
And in a Snitch, a Golden Story exclusive, we secured the very first on-camera interview with the Golden Snitch himself, Tyler.
How were you able to elude every Quidditch player for all those years?
Oh, dude, it was so easy. All I had to do was go to the one place a Harry Potter fan would never go. A girl's bedroom.
Okay, sorry, we'll move down to the third level of the iceberg now. This is where things really start to kick up a notch. Harry Potter exists in every aspect of their life. They have Harry Potter-themed weddings, Harry Potter collections, clothing, and even name their children after Harry Potter characters. Weirdly obsessed with the actors in the movies, they go to the Wizarding World theme park any chance they get. This level of fandom, it's kind of like the Tobey Maguire montage in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3, where Peter has like fully accepted the symbiote into his life. He's letting it like dictate how he behaves, reacts, dances. That's what's happening to these Potterheads, but it's like a black robes, and a scarf. And dude, I don't know what it is about millennials in fandoms, but you don't have to make your wedding based off of the thing you like. You can just have a wedding. Or two. I had two. And none of them were Harry Potter. And I know it's their wedding day, they can do whatever they want. I know that. Like, who am I to judge? But also, at the same time, let me be a hater. Dude, straight up, if I got an invitation to a serious Harry Potter wedding, I am acting a fool. I'm showing up dressed as Moaning Myrtle, and during the whole ceremony, I'm going to be in the back row like, don't invite me to a Harry Potter wedding, or else I might cast my Patronus at the reception. Also, part they have Harry Potter collections. I'm not saying that's bad. I've got a crazy, stupid collection of a bunch of dirty-ass shit, so I can't make fun of anybody in that sense. But naming your child after a Harry Potter character? That I can make fun of. There are countless articles online giving examples of, like, Harry Potter names for babies. What are we doing? If you're naming your baby Kiss, Severus, or Bunty, that is child abuse. And I am so serious. You are ruining that baby's life before it even takes its first breath. Dude, not even the actors in the movies would do that. And they were in the movies. Speaking of the actors, this is a good time to talk about the other line at this level, weirdly obsessed with the actors in the movie. Like how a Harry Potter fan legally changed his name to Lucius Malfoy and sent a letter to the actor Tom Felton, who plays Draco Malfoy, the son of Lucius Malfoy. And this Harry Potter fan who changed his name to Lucius wanted Tom to change his name to Draco Malfoy legally, so this new guy named Lucius Malfoy could legally adopt Felton. That's so fucking weird. And also, I don't think it works like that. If some kid also has the last name Connor, can I just adopt him legally? Is that true? If it is, I am going to adopt every single Connor until I have acquired them. It will be the biggest con of all time. And finally, I will be the true con. The last line I put on this level of the iceberg is, they go to the Wizarding World theme park all the time. And the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios is actually what inspired me to make this video. Disney adults and Harry Potter adults, they're cut from the same cloth. They all take stuff just a little bit too far when it comes to the theme parks. And I've been to the Wizarding World before. I went in 2012 and I had a great time. But let me tell you, there is nowhere on earth less magical than Orlando, Florida. No matter how many British people in cloaks they put in that park, nothing will take my mind off of the fact that I have an ungodly amount of sweat in my ass crack and balls. In my balls. Fucking miserable, man. I was so hot, I was sweaty, I was thirsty. Actually, that reminds me, speaking of being thirsty, this video is sponsored by Air Up. Folks, if you've never heard of Air Up, you listen here. Air Up is a completely new and unique hydration experience. So Air Up, you can easily stay hydrated every single day with plain old regular tap water, while also experiencing a wide variety of delicious flavors without the sugars and additives with the use of scent-based taste. I've always struggled with drinking my daily amount of water, but ever since I started using Air Up, I haven't missed a day. You know, I feel better, I'm eating more. That's a good thing. And look, I know people are skeptical about Air Up. I was as well. Let me tell you, I got this basil lemon flavored flavor pod right now on my Air Up bottle. And all I have to do is pull up on the pod to activate it, and now it seriously tastes like I'm drinking water with fresh basil and lemon. Not only smelling, dude, it's crazy. And the best way to try it for yourself is to try it for yourself. And now is the perfect time, because it's the holiday season, dude. Now is the time to buy things for other people while also buying things for yourself, because you might as well, right? So start your holiday shopping early and save up to 30% with their holiday bundle. Don't drag your feet because they're only there for a limited amount of time, so you've got to get them while you can. And seriously, one of the coolest parts about Air Up is letting my friends and family try it whenever they're at my house. And seriously, everybody I've seen try Air Up for the first time has been blown away by it. So click the link in my description to take advantage of these amazing promotions Air Up has going on right now, and forever be remembered as the best gift giver in your entire family. Thank you so much to Air Up for sponsoring this video. Back to me. We were talking about the Harry Potter theme park. The rides were fun, other than the fact that I got a nosebleed on the Hippogriff ride. But that's only because I was on Accutane at the time, so I'm not going to blame Harry Potter for that. People on this level of the iceberg probably also go to King's Cross Station in London on September 1st, where a huge crowd forms at 9 in the morning, because that's when they announced the train leaving for Hogwarts in the station. The train doesn't actually leave because it doesn't exist, because Hogwarts isn't a real place. But holy shit, dude, look at how many goddamn people are there in that station. Imagine like rushing to catch your train because you have a really important job interview coming up. When you finally get to the station, there's like thousands of people there, and they're all just like, Locomotive Hero! Or even worse, dude, what if you were like an actual wizard trying to get to Hogwarts, but there was all these fucking people in the way, so you missed the train, so you gotta go steal your buddy's dad's flying car, and then you end up crashing into the Whopping Willow. Then what? What? Sorry. Back to the Harry Potter theme park really quick. I think Universal Studios is much better than any Disney park because they got Simpsons Land and I like drinking Duff beer. But still, dude, there's people who've had like guerrilla-style weddings in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter when they're not allowed to do that there. And there's also people who go to this park every single day. And, you know, I start judging this shit like crazy, and then I see a video like this where it's someone crying the entire time they're at Harry Potter World because they're so happy. And then I feel like an asshole. Maybe being a Potterhead isn't so bad. If a piece of media can bring someone this much happiness, then maybe there's nothing wrong with it at all. Maybe we just need to accept some people. Oh wait, sorry, I just remembered the last level of the iceberg. Disregard what I was just saying. Let's keep going. The second last level we have is they genuinely believe Harry Potter is real. They write their own Harry Potter fan fictions. They call people muggles, unironically, well into their 30s, but still waiting on a Hogwarts acceptance letter in the mail. Actually enjoys the Fantastic Beasts film? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Last line is the most egregious of all because that movie sucked. I watched it on a plane. I've never wanted to skydive so bad in my life. And this level of the iceberg is the point of no return for Potterheads. This is when the delusion fully consumes them and they genuinely believe that they are legitimate wizards. Like this. Let's look at this one Facebook post from Potterheads for Life. Harry Potter International Day. In memory of all those who died during the Hogwarts battle. Today is May 2nd, the day of the Battle of Hogwarts. The day that Harry, Ron, and Hermione snuck back into Hogwarts and destroyed the Horcruxes. The day that Harry finally defeated Voldemort. The day we could see the real courage and sacrifice. We will never forget everyone who fought in the war and all those who died. Fred Weasley, Impadora Tonks, Remus Lupin, Olin Creevy, Severus Snape, and many more. Let's raise our wands for those who fought and died. Remember, May 2nd, 1998. These next comments are great. This is a fictional event. Please read another book. That's from Carl Boom Boom. Carl Boom Boom. No, it's not. Carl Boom. Where'd I get the fucking Boom Boom from? Straight up can't read. I'm an Applebot, man. We're fucking done. And then in response to Carl Boom Boom, Nathan says, Carl, you do realize that the Ministry of Magic modified all of the Muggles' memories so they would not remember this historic event, right? You do realize you had your memory erased by the Ministry of Magic, but even though me telling you that they did that sort of negates any effect that they had, right? I totally get submersing yourself into a piece of media, as a form of escapism and stuff. But like, it's wild to genuinely believe that Hogwarts thinks this, dude. I talked about this in my Internet's Most Absurd Lies video, but someone posted a video saying that they actually received an acceptance letter from Hogwarts. And they're being 100% serious. Like, there are people out there who genuinely think Harry Potter is real. And I don't think it's like funny or cute. At a certain level, it's like harmful, I think. And you'll agree after you read this. I thought the Reddit post in r/Harry Potter, that is if it's real.
You playing on PS5? How does it play?
Yeah, I'm playing on PS5. It plays pretty fine except for crashing. And it can crash early game once you start it, crash middle game. Just crashes whenever, but at least it auto saves, so you can go back to it. But the crashing is the only problem.
Instead of an allegory.
Thanks.
Here's another problem. This is the first time this has happened to me. But look, repair woodcut. It's not done. I'm stuck in some kind of loop. Repair woodcut. I was like, I'm pretty sure I keep repairing these things.
The people lay these stones as a pathway to the heavens. Come, Ooooowwweeeee, and assume the world's throne.
Okay, is it just a mechanic? I can't. I know it's on unrest. Why can't I fix it or move past this? Is my game break or something? I'll go. Didn't say I can't do that. Can I now? I should be able to. Is it still not doing it? I'm trying to spend the money. Why is it? Oh, I'm dumb. Now it's queuing it. Why would it queue it instead of? That's the first time it's even done that. Mm-hmm. No, why like that?
Why?
Bye.
चारों ओर प्रजा के जीवन में और
Chúng tôi đã chịu đựng sự sỉ nhục của các người quá lâu. Chúng tôi sẽ không cúi đầu.
And there is
Loser, now you gotta get out of my territory.
The steppes brace for a coming storm, one of horses, valor, and endless ambition. The Mongols ride forth. There is. The map. The master. The map was a model. The master and... Plenty of money.
そなたが来ることは骨の占いによれば知っておる。
I worked my wits. I take rest. The king.
चारों ओर प्रजा के जीवन में
sự sỉ nhục của các người quá lâu. Chúng tôi sẽ không cúi đầu.
Екатерина Алексеевна, императрица и попечительница искусств.
Matsuya. The Mongols did not find hoofbeats echoed on the steppe, the ghosts of Mongol dreams. Though unfulfilled, they still sparked hope for a brighter future.
I never loved. I never lost a passenger. Never crashed my train. Not many can say the same.
When is it crashing?
Randomly. It crashed earlier. Every time I restart the stream, basically, has been a crash. Because I have to restart the stream every time I crash. So the last crash was 2 hours ago, an hour and 50 minutes ago. And then crashed as soon as I had started again. Oh, am I not in a party this whole time? What?
That's crazy.
Stuck. Yeah, let's just go.
The people lay these stones as a pathway to the heavens. Come, Ooooowwweeeee, and assume the world's throne. All.
I didn't even realize I thought I had a party open this whole time.
Hello.
Oh.
Massive upgrade. Of course, Windows versions are kind of like this thing where like the every other version is like the redheaded stepchild. Like after this when they made Windows Vista, bro, that operating system lineup got so they had to do like special, they had to do, like special advertisements and like focus group testing to show people it wasn't that bad. Then Windows 7 comes out, people are like, yeah, it's amazing. Windows 8.1 comes out, and they're like, whoa, this is terrible. Nobody's using it. First, it's utilized in a lot of them. Then it's just the world's computers still use 90% of U.S. ATMs run on Windows XP. 96% of stores still use Windows XP. And if that is true as of 2017, I am shocked that that is still a thing. But of course, Windows XP, Microsoft offers a deal at the time of $200 per desktop for 1 year. Why don't people upgrade, you might be asking? Well, it's probably because they have their systems designed, their areas where they need to be using Windows. They probably are running software that may not work well with anything above Windows. Which, for some games, or if you're a gamer, some games just
I like the so is that the only way you can pick colors is by picking that?
run older copies of Windows games.
So I've had the same color every time.
Generally sums up
That's what I want. I want those colors.
After way beyond that and using shit like Windows 95,
Oh, hell.
psychotic nut job. Eventually grab your Windows XP virtual machine and just effectively use it to commit some of the filthiest acts known to man on the internet. Now, I've let this Windows XP machine running connected to the internet without any problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to force this off and take this away from our good old friend Vladimir committing actual fraud in parts of the world. So Windows 10 is dying, and obviously it's no shock. So why don't people just choose to upgrade for free, right? Windows 11 came out October 5th, 2021, and I pretty much upgraded all my virtual machines and my full Windows system to Windows 11 as soon as it dropped, and honestly, I wouldn't even consider it to be an MVP upgrade. Things do tend to work pretty fine. In fact, there were some issues that like literally 2 months ago, where some games on Windows 11 14H2 don't ask me how they actually name these versions. They don't make any such thing. Whereas Ubisoft games and whatnot, so Microsoft was like, just pause updates, chill out for a while. It was actually their fault. They fucked up their system so that it actually started affecting people that were using software, things like games, or even beyond video games. Now, there were a couple of metrics that I wanted to look at where we could see who wasn't upgrading. So according to Stat Counter, which basically uses publicly scraped data off of people browsing the internet through trackers to figure out which operating system that they're using. Now, surprisingly, according to this, in January 2025, 60.35% of the apps were running on Windows 10. And in fact, 36.6% were running on Windows 11. This is kind of a shocking metric to me. Like, usually when it comes to other operating systems, like if you're using Linux, people probably tend to update to the most recent version. Unless you're working like, products where you need stability, probably not going to update the newest shit in case something breaks. If you're a Mac user, I always see Mac users updating to the most recent operating system without a shadow of a doubt. But why aren't they doing that for Windows 11? I mean, Windows 11 works. You can use it right now. It's free. Kind of. According to the Steam hardware survey in January 2025, it was shocking to me to see that, yes, Windows 11 has there are still 42.8% of people think Windows 10 64-bit. So immediately I'm like, why is there that discrepancy? Can people just not make the switch to Windows 11? For some reason,
is somebody not to buy a Windows 11 Pro license for $260? And if you buy this, you're an actual couple. That's offensive. What about the Home Edition? For a simple price of Sorry. There exists like free ways to license software for Windows. Go to Windows right now, search up Windows 11. Microsoft. Go over here and download an installation little flash drive for yourself where you can install Windows for free. You can go to like this GitHub script page where you can just follow like one line on a command prompt and activate your version of Windows. And yes, technically, I don't think this is legal, but Microsoft has known about this exploit for like
Color's the
years.
same.
So they're not willing to crack down on it. Clearly, they don't care. And why would they care? If Microsoft was adamant that you would pay $260 for a professional license of Microsoft, you would see en masse transitions to Linux like no tomorrow. This is insanity. You charge this much for dog shit should actually have the U.S. government intervene and do a fucking wellness check on Microsoft as a company. Well, it all comes down to Windows 11 system requirements, which obviously do limit a lot of computers. More budget computers from actually upgrading. So, for instance, you need a 1 gigahertz or a faster processor, which shock. I think a lot of people are running with over 1 gigahertz these days, and this has been happening for over 50 years. I'm sure there are vibrators that people are sticking into themselves that operate at higher speeds than 1 gigahertz. Of course, you've got RAM, which is 4 gigabytes. I think everyone has at least 4 gigs of RAM at this point. 64 gigs or larger storage devices, obviously, I don't think that's an issue. But where it does become a bit of an issue is things like system firmware. So obviously, people need things that are secure and capable, but of course, you also need something known as a trusted platform module, version 2.0. Without these two specific requirements, running Windows 11 is just not happening. Now, there are ways around this. For instance, if you go to rufus.ie, there's a special tool you can use right now that will allow you to actually cut down and modify a Windows ISO file so you can remove requirements for things like RAM, secure boot, VPN. And who knows if this will eventually be patched out. Maybe Microsoft will get rid of these things as time moves on. But for now, you can kind of bypass some of these. I wouldn't recommend this simply because, like, I don't think you should be removing these recommendations. Because, like I said, I think they can take these away at any moment. But it makes sense why people aren't upgrading. And Windows 10 is sort of the last holdout. There's a lot of people using older hardware and hardware that just isn't, working with Windows 11. Not because it can't operate the system, it's just these arbitrary restrictions are preventing people from switching over. Which is why, if you're somebody that has a budget-oriented rig, and I really do think, like, sometime at the end of this, probably the beginning of 2026, you're going to see a lot of parts on the actual marketplace that are going to dip in value. And it's not because those parts, can't be used. It's because Windows 11 doesn't support it. So you're going to be seeing like a different tier of budget, computers that typically are going to be priced like hundreds of dollars less, a substantial amount, and you can put those together and install something like Linux Mint, my recommended Linux ISO. It's so easy to install and go. I think it's actually easier than running. Like, you literally can install this faster, and I guarantee most normie people will not know the difference between Windows. It'll browse the web, it'll do all their basic chores, and if you're a gamer like me, you can install things like Steam and effectively play anything your heart can desire. Recently, I was playing something like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and it works day one out of Linux out of the box. In fact, this game is surprisingly so well optimized that I'm running this without DLSS, no fucking frame generation, shit just works. A CryEngine game in 2025, absolutely slapping dog cheap.
But let's say that Steam isn't your market, and you don't like to play Steam games. Well, there are launchers for Final Fantasy 14 fucking running entirely well underneath Linux. No performance, at least to really know it. But there's also tools like Bottles, for instance, which is a great tool that I highly recommend. Download this program through any of your Linux distributions, like built-in, like Storefront, like their little app store that usually have the Bottles in these apps. And using Bottles is so easy that you can hit this little plus sign. You can type in the name of the game or name. I can set an actual directory, and because this is sandbox, it will make sure that, let's say you run a Windows virus underneath this, it will stay relegated to its own special charge and not infect the rest of your system in theory. Obviously, take real care. But of course, you can see I've got a couple set up right now. Ubisoft Connect. I've got Chronicles of Riddick, a game that isn't sold anymore, a game that is so old that running it on Windows isn't even as good as running it underneath Linux through, things like Wine that make the entire process, I would say, more compatible. There's a lot of work done on this that makes running older Windows software more of a breeze underneath Linux, surprisingly. But let's say I go to the Epic Games Launcher, all I have to do is go to Install Program, find where Epic Games Store is here, and they all have ratings as well, and Platinum means that specific program does work perfectly. So I click this little Install Program, hit the Start Installation, and it will do all of this for me. So again, for anybody that is worried about making the switch over, using Linux and playing games that old and because Linux is a lot lighter on resources, you need a lot of power out of slower on Windows. So I think that this is kind of like the new wave, the new little renaissance where you kind of switch over to especially if you are running hardware Windows won't let you upgrade. Now there's a lot of people on the YouTube that will talk about like there's I made a pretty good video on it. One video that I saw a couple of weeks ago was by a channel that's totally not famous. It made a tool to debug Windows in 2 sites. And if a video like this is getting 1.2 million views, you can tell that there is actually a problem with Windows and its bugs because people are looking this stuff up and directly figuring out how to clean their system. So typically what will happen is these guys will use like a special utility written by an individual, a popular YouTuber known as Chris Tech. And if you're looking at this, all of this shit, basically this is a way for you to gut out non-essential parts of a Windows installation. So it's kind of like going to a car, ripping out all the shit you don't need to make it lightweight and fast. I would not recommend this if you don't know what you're doing. But generally speaking, if you can debug your Windows installation, you can get rid of a lot of unneeded services and maybe get a bit more performance parts. And that's where it really shines. If you have older hardware like older GPU, the extra, resource available could be the difference between getting like 40 frames per second and maybe 60 frames per second. So again, super important you kind of play around with. But I feel like if you need to be using these tools, then maybe it's another reason why you should consider Linux. Linux is supporting more and more hardware. Obviously, once Windows will give up, its end of life. Once you have to switch over to Windows 11. And the gaming is getting pretty much one-to-one. Aside from things like game cheats and some newer games having work, most of the stuff that releases nowadays works day one out of the box. Okay, and that's really the end-game scenario. You want to use a system that is lighter on resources? Linux is about as light as you can go. There's versions of Linux that will basically gut out everything you need. Arch Linux, the one that I use, comes with almost nothing installed. You install as itself. So you can basically shave off your system to the most bare minimum requirements. And I think ultimately, at the end of all of this, me personally, I just like to get people to switch off. Now, again, Windows 10 is done. And if you can't upgrade, then for your safety and your computer security, and honestly, the longevity of your you might want to consider switching. But for the people that have hardware and can't Windows 11 have it, if you want to ask a question in the comment section below, why have you not upgraded to Windows 11? Because genuinely, I do want to understand why people aren't choosing to upgrade, especially when Microsoft has effectively been offering this for basically, like, if there are reasons why people aren't going down this road that goes beyond just hardware requirements, or again, people not enjoying Windows, are people just waiting for the end of Windows 10 so that they can actually switch over to Linux? Like, it's completely easy to switch over right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this stuff, please like, comment, subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. And I know this was my fault for this. Give me that.
Well.
We're building the foundation for healthier, happier kids,
No.
engaged, capable, and successful adults. Children that thrive create better community.
Go. Go.
Kids.
There is another one.
Hello, guys and gals, me, Ooooowwweeeee, and it's been just over a week since a video we made blew up talking about the Save the Kids scam. Since then, me and Coffeeville have been sitting together at least 2 nights ago, where we sat down for 7 hours going through transaction to transaction. Now, when I made that video, we basically covered the entirety of, at least at the time, of Save the Kids, a charity token all about saving the kids that was pumped and dumped to no end. Now, since then, a lot has actually happened. And this video is going to be long, and it's going to be full of a lot of things, but I want to cover every base as much as I can. This won't actually even be the last video. We are actually looking into a further audit, and we're getting full interviews with people who are just now starting to come out in droves to me and Coffeezilla, and everyone else is looking into this. So it's a big story, but this is going to be a long video. Sit down, relax, grab a beer, because we're going to dive in further into Save the Kids. Part dose. Now, since then, FacePlan itself ended up putting out a statement where they said, we have made the decision to remove K from FacePlan and have suspended Jarvis, Nikon, and Tico until further notice. So one expulsion and the rest of them suspensions. FacePlan has absolutely no involvement with our members' activity in the cryptocurrency space. We strongly condemn their recent behavior. The trust and respect of our fans has been and will always be our #1 priority. Now, this announcement is the one thing that threw the oil into the fire, so to speak. You know what I mean? It really blew things up beyond the point that nobody could not cover it. You had news sites covering it, Twitch streamers, YouTubers, everyone in the space was looking at FacePlan with eyes open. And honestly, it's not like they could have dug their head into the sand and pretended nothing fucking happened. Because the evidence that we looked at the last time was already pretty damning. Coffee's second video was already damning. When he dug up the actual addresses based on the giveaways, traced them back to the original account holders, which are believed to belong to these members in question, some of them at least. So again, to reiterate, if you go to the winner's wallet, which you can look up on BSC Scan, you will find Safe Galaxy tokens. Now again, you have to see around the time of the giveaway. In this case, it's 2 days after. Look at the address that sent that Safe Galaxy coin. Now you can go to that address, which is OX5AM8B67B22, and you can see in their entire transaction list or token transfers, they not only have Save the Kids from the actual deployer address OX401, but you can even go further beyond and actually find the Safe Galaxy token. So they own Safe Galaxy. In fact, clicking that right there, you can see the Safe Galaxy where they got from the deployer. And they started sending around to numerous addresses. And you can see it more strongly in this giveaway, too, where you can see that the Safe Galaxy deployer around the 5th of May. And then you can see just a day after, you can start seeing multiple accounts being sent Safe Galaxy token. Now, to understand, a statement like this has to be made because what effectively happened was actually pretty illegal. I know a lot of people have told everyone, and there's this weird belief that people think that promoting cryptocurrency isn't really illegal. It's not regulated by the SEC, and to an extent, there are regulation issues regarding cryptocurrencies right now because they're super new. But at the end of the day, what we saw here was very, very, very illegal. Because effectively what happened with Save the Kids token, or really any other token that gets pumped and dumped, is effectively what happened to John McAfee. If you don't know, John McAfee is a late computer cybersecurity CEO who was actually found dead in a Spanish prison cell with suicide as the cause of death. All right, I'm just going to go with what officially is out there. Now, at this point, he was basically granted an extradition order to the United States. Okay, basically, he was going to be sent back for a litany of crimes that he was being charged with. Now, some of those crimes, all right, included unpaid tax disputes. I believe that's actually one of the reasons he was actually being extradited. But in a lot of ways, he had a bunch of other complaints. Now, this one came straight from the DOJ. So, in this entire document, this indictment over here, the summary of the fraudulent schemes. Okay, so 19A, the scalping schemes. Let's read this real quick. The first scheme involved a fraudulent practice called scalping, which is sometimes referred to as a pump and dump scheme. In the scalping scheme, McAfee and other McAfee team members, including CC1, brought large quantities of publicly traded cryptocurrency altcoins, which qualify as commodities or securities, at inexpensive market prices. Published false and misleading tweets by the official McAfee Twitter account recommending those altcoins for investments to members of the investing public in order to artificially inflate or pump up their market prices and then sold or dumped their investment positions in those altcoins into the short-term market interest stimulated by McAfee's deceptive tweets. Through the scalping scheme, McAfee and other McAfee team members, including CC1, collectively earned more than $2 billion in illicit profits, while the long-term value of the recommended altcoins purchased by the investors declined substantially as of a year after the promotional tweets.
Now, reading that complaint, it's honestly very hard for me not to find the similarities. Like, if you were to take all instances of McAfee team and McAfee in that statement and replace it with, say, the Kids token and the various people that have associated themselves with this token, it's very hard to not find or look at this situation and find a lot of similarities, okay? Again, I am not a lawyer, and if there's anybody better to legally explain this, absolutely feel free. But it looks like the similarities are quite glaring.
Now, ever since then, me, CopyZilla, Barely Sociable, and Nerd City have been investigating on our own for all of the aspects regarding Save the Kids token. And while we've all had our own month-long observations into this charity token, literally looking at it from life to this point, in less than a week, in less than a day after I uploaded my initial video, the Reddit community, Save the Kids BSC, suddenly went private. The actual website has all but gone. Google search results last time I checked. But luckily, I did coincidentally have video of it. And while it's interesting, the website disappearing, even some of the video material, hell, before it went down, a lot of the influencers magically disappeared. A lot of their endorsements, their tweets, even the initial landing page video that you could watch has all but gone. One aspect that I didn't cover, and I really fucking wish I did, was when Save the Kids tokens website came out, actually Googled Save the Kids, and I also came across another legitimate charity, Save the Children, an international NGO that's actually based out of the United Kingdom. One thing I want you to look at between these two websites is look at the layouts of the page. This could literally be chalked up to, again, them using a similar web layout anyways, but look at the similarities in the logos, the color scheme. Look, I'm not a trademark copyright expert or a lawyer, okay? I feel like I've done enough YouTube to know my way around copyright, but I have to imagine the actual charity, the international NGO, wouldn't feel too happy knowing that they could potentially be mistaken at first glance with this controversial charity token. Okay, it almost felt like when this website was created, there was some level of intention to sort of piggyback off of an actual website. I have talked to people literally investigating this that have confused either website between each other. So again, I have to say for the record, I have to say in my opinion, it feels really shady that had to be a thing. Now, even looking further into the website again, let's go over a couple points, okay? A charity token, which of its own admission has a 3% transaction tax, which is then divided into 1% locked liquidity, 1% back to the holders, and then 1% back to charity. You know, doing the goddamn math in this situation would probably tell you that this coin that was supposed to be the saintly endeavor wasn't exactly designed to be as charitable as it really could be. The website's gone, and the last time we looked into it, the value on the token itself has pretty much plummeted to just over 90% from where it initially was. As in recovery, Save the Kids is gone, okay? Those kids are all No way, you're talking about. Okay, they're old. Now, in the last video, I sat down and broke a scheme where some of the top wallet addresses were holding the Save the Kids token. They received it from deployer addresses. They had it ready to go. The day of the 5th and 6th, when the promotional tweets were going out and the value of the coin was skyrocketing, because while these people were hyping up a coin, people were putting in $100, $50, $20, whatever investment that they could to swing the value of the token upwards just by having the volume. Now, by magnifying that scale again, if one person puts in $100, it's not going to be that big of a deal. If you have 1,000 people putting in $100 each, that's really going to matter. That's going to fluff that speculative value of that coin to its highest zenith. And then the beneficiaries of that token who held massive volumes just basically dumped their coins onto the market. And because there was a code change, the whale code, the anti-whaling code, which would have prevented all these account holders from dumping coins, it would limit their transactions to once every 24 hours, was magically changed a day before. Okay, so just before the coin went live, they got rid of the anti-whaling code, and the people who had the massive amount of pre-sale tokens were just dumping that onto the market, killing the coin in progress. There wasn't going to be any saving the kids, okay? The kids were never going to be saved. Just put that through your heads. Since the release of my last video, Rice Scum, of all people, all right, which is one of the people that I pointed out, actually signaled in my title, was one of the key influencers brought onto the Save the Kids operation, said this during a live stream. Okay, let's roll that one. Look, we've made the decision to remove kids. And so he has suspended Jarvis because I told you, bro, me and Kenny are hella close. Me and Kenny are hella close. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about scamming and that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all need to tap in type shit. Tap in, bro. Yo, if y'all trying to scam hit my line, bro. If y'all trying to scam hit my line, y'all need to tap in with me. Again, I don't know if he's trying to be hilarious right now by saying all this shit, but when he's saying, "Hey, I'm Constant Fraser," or K in this case, if you're trying to scam my life, it almost really sounds like he's trying to throw out some weird accusation. I'm not going to put words in his mouth. I'm just saying, from first glance, it's kind of weird when he said that. Also, when you're involved in this kind of a token, when you're involved in this controversy, it's probably not advisable to say that if you're trying to scam, hit up my line. I'm sure a judge wouldn't laugh at that. I know that Rice has a history of trolling. I'm going to give you full disclosure. But, at the same time, bro, there's times for, joking, and there's times to be serious. Right now, I wouldn't be making jokes like that, okay? I'm just putting it out there. That said, though, I'm going to move on from here and focus on the next person. Now, the next target in this entire situation is a guy known as Space Nikon, okay? Nikon, whatever we want to go with. Now, Nikon did actually get back to me. I'm going to show you the record.
No, I didn't. No, it's not. This is mine. You want to switch?
No, I wasn't.
You see what I'm about to put on.
Now, this wallet address, OXD1ABCA, is one that I'm linking to him on actual PNB transaction. So, again, let's look at the blockchain, okay? It doesn't lie. Now, in the blockchain, one of the actual BNB transactions that actually happened, which was substantial, is one that I'm going to put out right here, OX7167DFF885. Now, this wallet address, I want you to remember for a little bit. He sent 20 BNB twice within an hour period, okay? To understand how much 20 BNB is, let's look at the price on the transaction. So we're going to open the transaction details, and we're going to check the value at the time of transaction. So it was around $8,000 that was sent. Now, $8,000, and you can multiply that again, so $16,000 was sent to 0x716.7. Now, this wallet, and this is a Excel spreadsheet that we were sent, which is alleged to be the Sandpepper whitelist wallet, okay? This is something that was sent to us, and the reason why I can sort of get behind its legitimacy is that this will play a very key role in establishing the Save the Kids scam in general. So let's look at the top here. This is SendBNB. So you see how that wallet address, OX7167TFF885, matches for what was sent? This is a pre-sale amount that these individuals would send to that wallet that would basically allow them to then get the pre-sale wallet tokens from the deployer address for Save the Kids. So now, let's go back to Nikon's wallet, the BET20 token transaction. So Nikon here received from the deployer address, and I'm going to change the age to match the times here, so 0605. He received 2.5 million tokens, okay? Now, he sold a chunk of tokens, but he still has 1.8 million sitting in his kid's token wallet. All right. There are a couple things to point out, however, and we're going to look at them right now. Now, one thing I also want you guys to really look at in the transaction list, I'm going to put this wallet address that you're going to keep in the back of your mind right now. This is OX02259. I want you to remember that string of characters because it's going to play a key role later on in this video. Now, he sent that account 8 BNB, which at the time of transaction was around $4,500. Why would Nikon's wallet be sending, on 0516, Nikon's alleged wallet be sending to this account that sum of money?
Now, I've been using the term alleged wallet a lot in this video, and I'm just trying to cover legal bases. But if you look at just this transaction list, the founder wallet sent 2.5 million tokens, but this account didn't sell all of it. They basically cashed out from what it seems like their initial investment. So remember when they sent those 20 BNB to that pre-sale wallet, OX716? They basically got the amount of tokens. They sold their initial investment, but if they're still holding on to tokens that have lost over like 85% of their value, it's kind of safe to say that this wallet holder didn't lose their money. Okay? Like,
The back of my hair look like the rest of my hair.
Operator in this entire situation. Okay, this isn't egregiously terrible. It's bad that the participation happened, but they're still holding on to a good chunk of their token. I think it's about 2/3. In fact, the only guy in this entire scenario, Tico, who basically went by unscathed because neither me or Steven could really find his wallet addresses, and trust me, we tried. We actually ended up going to Keemstar, and he reached out to Tico because Keemstar is involved with the Fates guy pretty heavily. He ended up getting this confirmation from Tico. I never sold a single coin or made a single dollar on this. Legit have not sold any of it, not even my own investment to put in. None. Zero. And he said, I need your wallet to clear you. And then he gave his wallet address. So we're going to audit Phase Tico. We're going to try to isolate this guy from this situation because he is actually fairly innocent. He might be the only motherfucker who wanted to the goddamn kids. So not only did he get the money from the deployer address, he didn't dump a single token of kids. And then he also bought more kids with his own money. At least that shows that he believed in this charity token idea. The fact that this is the one account that we have found that receipts.
George and Junior fucked that up. They weren't planning on making it, but they went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped them find a deal.
The conversation that pro-life people don't care about the baby once it's born. There are a bunch of people that believe that. But I wanted to find the people that don't believe that. We're a petition here to support universal school lunch and universal child care. We just think people should have access to this, and we thought the best place to get signatures for this petition are the March for Life. This is the place where everyone cares about life. Would you like to send a petition?
Don't really appreciate being ambushed on camera, but I do know that there are a ton of people down there that would definitely be able to sign
No, I actually don't believe that it's body as much. I think it's like on the parents.
Universal school lunch and universal child care. And we're trying to get people to sign to show that, we care about babies when they're out of the room. You like
Damn, you was parlaying, that's why.
universal school lunch is bipartisan. Partisan. Very divided country, but we want to show the public that there's some unity there.
If they can, the government gets involved, then they tend to improve conditions that wouldn't necessarily not support.
For universal school lunch, we're going to petition for universal child care. We wanted to show that this is a group that cares about children. Are you interested in signing the petition?
We're trying to meet the rest of our group.
Oh, you're going to get to your group? Oh, okay.
I appreciate it.
It's a petition for universal school lunch and universal child care.
Okay. Nobody signed it.
You're the first person. Congratulations. You're the first signature. Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh.
Wow.
Donald Trump is going to support universal child care.
I mean, listen, why not? If enough constituency pushes for that.
I'll be able to make the
I feel like that could be something that's like bipartisan.
Do we have to get fed? I always have fun.
Thank you for that.
I'm trying to take all of this.
You can say yes, or you can say no.
I'm going to say no, but I want to explain why. Because I don't want to be like, I don't care about kids. I believe in trying to make change in so where we
For the colors.
We're doing a petition for universal child care. You want to please like to sign this petition?
It's not, I'm not just for like, child and good luck, fend yourself. No, like everyone should have a chance to live abundantly, right? It's 10 years up to the law, right?
You want to get the politicians representing the pro-life movement don't think that.
No, they don't.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Universal school lunch, 15 children, and universal child care.
funded by individual states or by the federal government.
It's a broad question. What's your personal opinion on that?
So I know in Maryland, especially during COVID, they had free lunches and all that. And I noticed, especially even myself, we abused that ability. We would go in and get lunches, all that stuff. There would have to be a form of either means testing, or whether it be like more regulation, like who gets food, how much food. But we also need to look at the economics. So like in Maryland, if you're within a certain economic bracket, you're eligible for free lunch. Because if there's kids who don't need it, why burden the taxpayer with a kid who can absolutely, like his family can absolutely, take care of him?
So if I'm telling you that this is for, you would sign it.
Yes.
1,000%. I mean, I actually want to be a teacher once I graduate college, and signing this means that every student, every kid, every child out there, no matter what age they are, no matter where they are financially with their family or anything like that, that we're going to be able to help them. So, of course, I would sign it.
Perfect. There you go. We're trying to create a movement for everyone. There's people smarter than myself that can explain that and more of that. But I'm trying to show that there's bipartisan support for this. Because people say that the pro-life movement doesn't care about the child once it's born. Some people think that. Would you sign this petition? Okay. Awesome. All right, very cool. Signatures. To provide children with free access to health care, school lunch, child care, universal school lunch, and universal child care. And since this is the March for Life, and it's very focused on the kids, I thought the best place to get signatures would be March for Life. Would you like to sign this petition?
Like, just making sure that
Yes, it's good to show, try to show that there is bipartisan support for this. And this is something that's sticking beyond just like a blue thing that most people think. For, making sure that every child in this country, every child is educated, that mothers can go to work and not have to worry about child care. I feel like our politicians, begin to divide us on those issues, on these issues like abortion. A good amount of people here actually think that we should feed children. The politicians representing the pro-life movement don't think that every child should get fed. And I wanted to show that. It's a very complicated issue that I'm trying to show. Some of the people here would not sign this petition. I only have 7 signatures here. These people do exist. I also want to show there are a good number of people that don't care about the child once it's out of the home.
The caged bird.
In popular culture, the term IQ is everywhere.
Do IQ exams go that? I probably need
Don't know my IQ.
low IQ individual.
People who boast about their IQ are losers.
When people say IQ, what they mean is intelligence, an objective, rigorous measurement of intellectual ability. But does it actually work? Well, in this video, I want to find out where IQ came from, what does it actually measure, what can it predict about your life, and I guess, what is my IQ?
All beings is the earth.
I have never taken an official IQ test before. Honestly, I don't think I'm terribly smart. I've always kind of considered my IQ to be maybe just a little above average.
That's a thermometer.
I feel like that should be...
Good job, science guy.
There are a lot of IQ tests online, but I am very skeptical about their accuracy. Still, I figured some of them may be good practice for the real thing. Tomorrow, I'm going to do an IQ test for real. Before I do that, I want to try to improve my score, and so I'm going to try to do a whole bunch of practice tests. I think this test is trainable, but tomorrow we're going to see whether that's true or not. The idea of intelligence testing goes back hundreds of years, but the first concrete breakthrough occurred in 1904. English psychologist Charles Spearman was studying students' grades in different subjects, and he wondered how their performance in one subject, like English, would relate to their performance in another, like math. One option would be that the better a student did in math, the worse they would do in English, because they spent more time on their math work and so had less time to devote to English. So performance in different subjects would be negatively correlated. Another option was that performance in one subject would be completely unrelated to performance in another. After all, different subjects require different skill sets, so maybe marks would be totally uncorrelated. The third option was that the better a student did in math, the better they would do in English. In other words, their marks would be positively correlated. A correlation coefficient can vary anywhere from -1 to +1. The correlation coefficient of -1 indicates a perfect negative correlation, meaning an increase in one variable corresponds to a precise, predictable decrease in the other variable. Similarly, a correlation of +1 indicates a perfect positive correlation. A correlation of 0 indicates no relationship between the two variables. Any value between 0 and 1 indicates a positive correlation. The data has some random spread. The square of the correlation coefficient tells you the amount of variation in one variable that can be explained by variation in the other variable. For example, if the correlation coefficient is 0.5, then 25% of the variation in one variable can be explained by the other. When Spearman analyzed his data, he found a clear positive correlation. Students who did better in math also tended to do better in English, and the correlation coefficient was 0.64. But math and English weren't the only subjects the students studied. They also took classics and French, and when Spearman looked at the correlations between all of these subjects, he found the same pattern. Students who did well in one subject tended to do well in them all. So how do you explain this observation? Well, Spearman proposed that each person has some level of general intelligence, what he called the G factor. This construct was meant to capture how quickly students could learn new material, recognize patterns, and think critically regardless of the subject matter, which explains why students' scores across subjects are correlated. Those with high G score well on all subjects, and those with low G score poorly on all subjects. Spearman published his conclusions in a paper titled General Intelligence Objectively Determined and Measured. But the correlations weren't perfect. So on top of the G factor, Spearman proposed subject-specific factors, or S factors. A student's performance in math, for example, would depend on their general intelligence plus their subject-specific factor for math. Subject-specific factors could increase or decrease performance on that particular subject. Spearman believed that specific factors could be trained, but general intelligence was fixed. So he wanted to find a way to reliably measure general intelligence.
With hotels and vacation rentals, Booking.com has something for everyone. Maybe right this way. What about something more family friendly? Maybe a resort with a water park? Yep, one Vegas hotel for the bride to be. We hate everything. We have for cancellation. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.com.
A tale is told of a star that fell in the days when men were air-covered brutes roaming the earth. This shard of celestial steel was unlike anything early man had ever encountered. And from those 5 fortuitous stainless steel blades came the world's first smooth, silky shave. And it was in that